Here's the conspiracy. Is Nate's forehead all bone? Or is there empty space that's not being filled?
It's just an air pocket.
His brain
just a whole bunch of nothing.
It's like his, you know how like the DirecTV, that's his brain.
Hey, Nate.
Another
put your hands on
conspiracy.
your forehead just like
Can Blake go 5 seconds without saying anything?
Yes, I can.
Let's do it.
You want to start?
Oh yeah,
we can start.
Trust me, he's been recording, so now we're gonna get that stupid intro. That.
Well, now we don't need it.
Can we pick a vote
Can
to
that be the
change the intro? All in favor say aye.
We.
Could we change the intro song to WAP?
You want to explain what song that is, Justin?
You're gonna have to do a lot.
We all
How did the lyrics
praise.
go?
We all pray.
I say we change it to "Living
Bring
on a
up-
Prayer"
bring
by
up
Bon
Bible.
Jovi.
Nah, WAP. So much better. The cool kids will love it.
I think Justin and Blake should write a song like Rick and Bubba.
Yeah.
And we have
No, that's a
Like in
terrible.
Justin.
We should
Yes.
rewrite WAP, but we all praise.
Bring a
And-
Bible and some
praise.
notes for this wonderful affirmation prayer.
I was going to say wisdom and prayer.
Hey! That's
Yeah.
much better than what I was thinking.
That would be so incredibly cringy. So
Oh no, we're not.
Yeah,
doing
I
that.
think
That's like that. That's
I
like
think
that.
"Living on a
You
Prayer"
remember
was
the
better.
remember the Anaconda song? That was.
Anaconda?
It was. I saw the Holy Ghost. Remember that one? It was the
No.
Anaconda.
not speak in tongues that pass out at the altar.
Yeah, it was real cringy.
And yet it still shows
It
them
still
twerking.
is.
Nate, please tell
This
me
is a
you're
weird
ready.
thing.
All right, we're ready.
Conspiracy theories, we're going to jump right in, and this is meant to be a little bit of a, humorous episode. We have a couple jokesters with us, right, Blake?
No.
Blake has never told a joke in his life, and we are going to have a disclaimer real quick. So we're going to talk conspiracy theories, just what's your favorite conspiracy theory? You don't have to believe it's true, or maybe you do, but just what's one you really like? Then also, we might mention things that you, the listener, might actually believe. And if so, that's fine. Remember, this is all in good fun. And some conspiracy theories may actually turn out to be true. But anyways, we're gonna jump in. What is your favorite conspiracy theory? Does anyone want to give it a go and start us off? Justin?
One of my favorite theories is that, excuse me, Mark Zuckerberg, much like Chloe, is a robot in disguise as a human.
I think there's truth to that.
That's not a conspiracy theory. That's just
That's
true.
basically been confirmed.
I thought he was a lizard.
Yeah, I thought it was a lizard. Are you sure it's a lizard?
I thought it was more lizard too.
I don't know. That's some robotic movement I've seen, my man. Have you heard him talk about the sweet baby rays?
Sweet baby rays.
I'm now applying the sweet baby rays.
I've heard.
Chloe, do you have any words in defense of the accusation that you are a robot?
Do you know Mark Zuckerberg, Chloe?
No comment.
Are you in
No
cahoots
comment.
with him?
I think that's wise. That's wise. No comment. Good answer.
The
there.
best way to determine if Chloe's a robot is to you know how you have to do double verification? We need to hold up that screen and make her click all the signs.
Chloe,
Duo.
when you go to answer questions that Google gives, the different squares, are you able to answer them?
Or do you have to get Zeke to do it?
It's weird. You
mostly
do
Zeke.
always ask me to do it.
The green captcha, whatever that is.
Weird.
Okay. So that's one. What else we got? Any conspiracy theories that we like?
That Donald Trump is the Messiah.
Okay.
Who?
I've heard
Exactly
that.
who believes that?
The QAnon.
Oh.
No, you'll actually have people that will make Donald Trump to be a Jesus-like figure.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
He's the second coming.
Man.
They'll have Jesus and Donald Trump together in pictures and stuff.
Isn't that incredible, guys?
I mean, he did say he didn't have to ask for forgiveness because he just doesn't do anything wrong. He did say that at one
he
point.
say
So
that?
he said something similar to that.
Okay.
I just don't do anything wrong, so I don't have to ask
Yeah.
for forgiveness.
That's what he said.
It's okay. Nothing's wrong. It's fake news. It's all false news.
That was well done.
Yeah.
I like that.
we might have just lost half of our Republican listeners.
Remember, everyone, this has nothing to do with who you vote for. This is all in good fun.
Yeah.
Okay, this is just a week off of some of the more serious topics.
But you should only vote for the side that I like. Forget your own vote.
Which side would that be, Justin?
Yeah, which side, Justin? You
That
wanna
way
shoot
we can
yourself
be
in the foot on
extra
this?
crystal clear who we
The
vote for.
right side, Zeke.
Oh, so you only
So
vote
you're
for the right.
So you're all
So
right.
right. So you're alt-right?
Absolutely, man.
So you hate everyone.
Absolutely, man.
Okay. Making sure.
Okay.
Alt-punk?
That's it.
Now, Blake, we've been talking a little bit about some of your theories, and I remember you saying something about Helen Keller.
She didn't fly a plane.
No one said she
flew a plane.
No, there's somebody said she flew a plane.
I don't even know where to go from there.
Helen Keller, okay. And
She didn't fly a plane, and I don't think she
She
I
did
don't think she
not.
wrote a book either.
No. How can she write and speak if she can't hear or see? Someone explain that to me.
Yeah, like how did she know what she was saying? Somebody could when they said she wrote her own biography. My bad. When she wrote her own biography, she could have been writing like a dirty story. Like nobody would have known. Like,
And while we're on the topic of people doing impossible things, how can Stevie Wonder play the piano when he's blind?
Yeah.
Exactly.
He also
Straight up
Okay,
fact.
he literally can hear. That one's pretty.
Doesn't matter, dude. I can hear and play a bunch of random crap is what it sounds like. Don't matter, dude.
Okay, I have a legit one.
Oh, we're just going to brush
so
past that.
apparently
So-
Helen Keller wasn't legit. So.
I'd say the conspiracy, or maybe truth, that the moon landing was fake. Who all thinks that?
Mariah, but do you believe this or do you just like
Yeah,
it?
this is-
Oh, I believe the moon landing was definitely fake.
Okay.
Okay, well, Mariah,
Mariah in one
Okay, then why do y'all
corner.
believe it?
let me ask you this, Mariah. How can there be so much cartoons set on the moon if it was fake?
Yeah.
Straight up fact.
Thanks.
There was even a person that came out and said he helped film the set that broadcasted to America the space landing, and even the astronauts, if you ask them about it, like I've seen interviews of them just kind of like dismissing some of the questions being asked and things like that.
Well, they're kind of old. I don't think they remember.
So is our president.
Oh my god.
One version of the theory, Mariah, I'm interested in. I don't have a stance on this. I think it happened, but one.
That is a stance.
Yeah, I realize what I said. I don't have a stance in this next thing I'm going to say. So I think it happened, but one version of the conspiracy theory is that it happened, but the video was fake.
Oh, that's
So
definitely
they
true.
had
Yeah, yeah.
pre-recorded the video and it just played because they weren't quite aware possibly of the conditions when they landed. So I could see that. I don't have a position on that, but I thought it was interesting.
Something that's interesting about that as well is when they interviewed Mr. Armstrong, he never spoke about a moon landing. He only talks about playing the trumpet, which is very strange.
Well,
Louis Armstrong.
okay, wrong Armstrong.
Straight up fact. Like, how could he play a trumpet in space?
Another thing people said
I'm so glad Justin
was,
stayed.
since it was the Cold War, the U.S. was just wanting to, get ahead of the Soviet Union so bad they were going to do and say anything to get ahead. So, and the space race was one of the main things to get ahead of the Soviet Union.
Yeah, ever since we landed on the moon, we've just skyrocketed since then. That really helped us.
Landed.
I'm just
quotations.
saying, if we landed on the moon and we planted a flag, why can we not? And we have technology where we can really see the moon really, really well now. Why can we not find the flag on the surface of the moon?
Because it's real little.
They'd be like saying, why can I not find a flag on
You gotta
America?
take the telescope and put a microscope on that thing and switch to zoom.
Mariah, you also had something before we started about your thoughts on cancer research. Anything you want to
Oh,
share
I believe
there?
this. I believe
Oh,
this.
yeah. So there's also a lot of conspiracies out there that cancer has been cured. They just withhold it from us due to the millions upon millions of, money they make on it. And I definitely think that's true.
Has anyone came out and said that they were part of the people who founded the cure?
So if I don't think they would, because they would definitely get, you wouldn't say that
They would get
out in
Jeffrey
public.
Epstein.
I don't know. There's a lot of people that have come out and said like different stuff about big conspiracies, and people just brush them off. But they don't. Doesn't mean they're
So they're
automatically gonna
probably,
be killed.
I'd say you could probably find interviews, and they definitely don't work as high ups anymore, because likely if you did say something that, or it would be brushed off as like, oh, they're a crazy person, we haven't found that.
Are you saying there are interviews, or there could be?
I mean, I haven't looked
Okay.
enough to know,
I was
but
just
I'd
curious,
say there probably is.
It's one of those I'm not going to say is true, but it's like it's the more
makes sense.
it's the more believable one. Like
Yeah.
like I could see that because
I'm not
we're
saying
very
that
greedy, so.
people aren't capable of lying. I
Yeah,
could
know.
see it.
Yeah.
Like,
But as far as
obviously,
saying, like,
there's motive there.
Yeah, as far as saying there's like concrete evidence that this has been, I don't know personally of anything, but
And I choose to be blind and think that everybody's really, really good. So I don't think it's.
How's
there
that worked
yet.
out for you? How's that work? You have Blake as a friend.
Pretty.
Hey!
Well, you got a point there. You got a point there.
why am I getting
Sucks pretty bad.
destroyed?
Where are you roasted, Nate? It's your turn.
I know.
Okay. Speaking of which, Blake brought this up. Jeffrey Epstein. Does anyone here know about that whole situation?
Many of your favorite celebs were definitely on that list, I will say.
Well, I think you're getting at did he
Did
really
he
kill himself?
kill himself?
No.
No.
I don't know.
No.
No.
Mariah, you were there. What happened?
I don't think so. I mean,
How is he placed on suicide watch, but then has the means to kill himself?
I
with
mean,
bed
And then
sheets?
we have no.
They could have fallen
like
asleep.
really, and the people watching him just happened to like, oh, we're not going to watch him
Mackenzie,
for a
they
minute.
fell asleep. The cameras were not working.
Yeah.
Everything just went wrong.
Yeah,
It
I
happens,
understand
you know?
that.
Yeah.
All the time.
I mean,
And by all the
also-
time, I mean like never. But
also someone with that personality type, I don't think would kill themselves.
All right. So that's one I want to cover. Let's talk 9/11.
Uh-oh.
it's
All right,
fake.
this is
Zeke?
It's
Zeke
fake.
did it? Is that what you said, Chloe?
no. I'm saying this is his topic.
The government
All right,
did
Zeke.
9/11.
Yeah, government did 9/11. I don't know if Bush knew, but at least the higher ranks. I don't know. If you just from the, I think what convinced me was seeing the building fall, cause the way
I mean, that was pretty convincing.
no,
Yeah, you
That
kind of
happened.
knew it was really.
you really know
real
what
at
I'm
that
talking about though.
What are you talking about?
So the way one of the buildings fell, if a fire is caught on the top floor, then you would expect it to collapse from top to bottom.
it collapsed.
It collapsed from bottom to top.
As
Like
if
the
somebody,
whole
like-
top floor stayed intact and just fell flat.
And then like it's like somebody detonated the
Yeah, and it
whenever
said,
they
like,
demo,
certain
whenever they
people
demo
That
buildings.
if someone could
Yeah.
explain that to me, I could be convinced that maybe it was.
Here's the thing.
it
Here's
was
the
real.
thing. Like either way, it was a very tragic event,
Yeah.
and we're not like we don't want to come across as we're making fun of anybody that lost anybody in 9/11, and we're not downplaying that it was a very tragic event. But why would I'm just asking you, like, why would what's the motive? Why would the government want to do that?
Why would the government want to do anything negative that they do?
The motive would be, if this theory is true, that they could invade the Middle East for various reasons.
Or
Oil.
I'm just saying, I think Joe Biden's been behind it the whole time. He's the evil mastermind. He doesn't seem like it because he seems like my grandpa. You know, he belongs in the nursing home.
Even
but-
Joe didn't know he did it. So, like,
All right. What else we got? Bigfoot, Loch Ness Monster, any of the classics?
Chloe had one.
Chloe?
I have more of a like quote unquote fun, just one that's not super. I don't know, not big.
Not real.
But I had heard this a while ago, and I don't really know much about it because I don't follow conspiracy super closely. But there's one about Walt Disney's death and how he
his
was.
head's frozen.
No, yeah,
I've heard that one.
They have a theory that his whole body is frozen and he's either stored under the Pirates of the Caribbean ride or in a top government.
No.
Like,
He's
facility.
under the Mickey Mouse and his statue. That's where he is. I know it.
Me and Justin.
I've been to
I don't
Disney
know.
World once.
Me and
saw
Justin
it.
went under the Pirates of the
But-
Caribbean ride. We're gonna tell you he's not there.
But
there.
also, there's
They're
another
skeletons.
theory behind that they created the movie Frozen to throw off people's Google searches whenever they try to search his name in Frozen.
Or they're
well
trying to make
frozen.
it obvious that that's
He's
what
frozen.
Well, what a great idea, because this movie's so good. I cry every time.
Tangled was better.
why would
Yeah,
they-
Tangled is my
I
favorite.
do agree
I
with
love
that.
What's the point in freezing him though? Like, what's the
So they can bring him back.
Yeah, they want to
But I
bring
mean,
him
like,
back.
why would they
So they
hide
can
that?
build
It's my
super
question.
mega death Walt Disney.
Well, Zeke, I mean, how weird would that be? They don't
They're
want
like
to
talking
display
about- they're
his
talking about
body
doing
for
that
the
now.
theme park.
I mean, they might.
Look up there.
Did y'all-
Dead corpse.
Did
kid.
y'all know?
Put a Mickey Mouse hat on him.
Did y'all know that there is an owl statue in California that
Really?
a bunch of government
Wow.
officials go and pray and sacrifice things to?
Oh,
yeah.
I've actually heard so owls are a lot. OVO, Drake's brand OVO is literally an owl, and there's a lot of other celebs that have. That's so funny.
Is that like the
like-
Illuminati or something?
Yeah, it's kind of all connected. It's like a cult, like Freemason type thing. Which that could lead to another one.
You can find it on Google Maps.
I'll look it up.
Speaking of the Illuminati, isn't there one too about the Denver airport?
Yes,
What?
yes,
No,
yes,
I've
Where
yes.
the Denver International Airport, there's a theory that that's where the Illuminati meets.
Nah.
Why the
I would have
Denver
seen him.
airport?
I would have seen him
There's
while I
like
was
a
there.
lot of like I think
Have
there's a
you
lot of
seen
room
it?
there
It's
that you're
very
not allowed to go
creepy.
into.
It's huge. It's the biggest airport.
Airport ever?
Which I
In
didn't
the
know that
United
because I was just there.
Or it's like
a
second
couple months
largest in
ago.
the world.
Whoa!
But
What?
doesn't it have, like, a lot of underground
hold
stuff?
Hold on. What
She
did
has
you
been
just say,
acting
Chloe?
weird ever since
She's
she
part
got
of the
back.
Illuminati.
You said you went there?
Yeah, because I was traveling.
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
my gosh!
You
Oh my
were
gosh, kill her.
traveling.
Yeah.
All right. Mariah
So that
was
worked.
traveling.
Speaking of owls, someone in this room is possessed by an owl.
Who?
Anyway, back on conspiracies. What about JFK?
That boring
Princess
I
Diana?
got a
Already-
much
That
better
was
one.
mine. Was Princess
I've got a
Diana.
much
Yeah,
better one.
Mackenzie, talk about Princess Diana.
Car wreck.
Okay. I do think the royal family had something to do with her death, and that it wasn't just like a accidental. Well, it wasn't accidental in the first place because the paparazzi followed her in there. But I think the royal family might have paid some people off. When she died, she didn't get to the hospital till like 2 hours later. They couldn't get her to the hospital till 2 hours later.
Pick up.
And
High-ranking government official?
And a lot of people think she was pregnant, and the royal family didn't want it to get out, so they paid
Offed her.
some people to kill her.
I believe that. Because a lot of people didn't like Princess Diana, even though she was very well loved by the people, but she was seen as like weird and funky by like the actual royal
She was
family.
a threat.
Yeah.
I knew
Did-
there was something wrong with Queen Elizabeth.
Did any of you
on
watch
it.
The Crown on Netflix?
Yeah,
A little bit.
I
little
did.
bit.
I love it.
Now, Isaac, you had something you wanted to say.
Now
Hit
that we're
us.
on to serious things,
Okay.
9/11 was
JFK
serious.
was not killed from the library.
Okay.
I watched
He was
I
killed from
watched
alternate angles. Yeah.
I watched a documentary on it the other day, and when he was taken to the hospital, I think it's Houston, right? Is where he died. I don't know. The doctors wanted to do an autopsy on him because it was like a state law or something that they had to do an autopsy in that state. And so they wanted to because the doctors were like, oh, well, it looks like he was shot from the front, blah, blah, all that stuff. And the X-Wing's in the back. Well, the Secret Service literally just took his body and was like, no, we're going to take him. And then they took him to this other hospital. And these people who did the autopsy on him were like the directors of the autopsy stuff, but they never did them. So they weren't really good at it. They didn't know what they were doing. And then they just kind of like messed his body up and made it look like, oh no, it was shot from the back and all that stuff.
Well, wasn't it from the side?
No, it was from the front and it like
yeah.
went out like over here on the back of his head.
Okay.
Do y'all think
What
the
was the-
CIA killed him?
What was the reason for that? Why did
Democrat.
A lot of people think he was involved. He played a big part in the missile crisis or whatever. Like, we were about to go to war and all this stuff. And a lot of people think, like, they just wanted him to be remembered as a great president. So they just, boom, killed him. And, like, oh, John F. Kennedy, he was so handsome and he died. He was shot. He was assassinated. But what they really don't see is, like, oh, he wasn't the best president.
I
So
thought
it
was
could have been the
opposite.
Kennedy family.
I thought it was the opposite way around, that he was actually like a really good president and wanted really good things, but the government, it would like hurt the government or something.
I've heard both. Yeah.
Like something about he didn't, I don't know. I don't-
JFK had a lot of enemies, regardless of what you think.
And
about
Marilyn Monroe.
They
Marilyn
killed her
Monroe
too. They killed her
was
too.
an enemy of JFK.
No, they were
No.
lovers.
I'm saying that's another conspiracy theory, is that Marilyn Monroe was killed by the Kennedy family.
But the doctors at the Houston hospital, I think that's where he was at, or Dallas hospital, I think maybe Dallas, they never recanted what they said about what they saw. So,
what do you mean?
like they said,
The ones I originally said.
yeah, the ones that originally said, like, when he came into hospital, they were like, it looks like he was shot from the front, you know, all that stuff. They never was like, oh, no, he was shot from the back. They were always like, this is what we saw. Like, he was shot from the front, all that stuff.
I mean, but at the same time, if they're clever enough to go through all that, why couldn't they just make it a little bit more clear? Like, why didn't they just shoot him from the front and set it up to where they could still
Like,
You know
lie
what?
about it?
still lie about it, but like make it like tie up some of the loose ends better? Why didn't they?
That's a great question.
Well, if he was shot from the front, they would have to hire somebody to do it, and then that person would literally go to jail. So they planted someone, or they planted it in a certain place and then got somebody who they didn't care about, and then they took him to jail for it so that they wouldn't have anybody, there would be no loose ends. Like,
Okay.
That would make sense if they planted somebody. And speaking of plant, our sponsor today is Miracle Grow. Have your plants been struggling this winter?
We're not sponsored by Miracle Grow.
We're
That's
We're
a
not
conspiracy.
sponsored by anyone that Blake says we're sponsored.
we're sponsored by A+ everything.
A plus everything.
Double A batteries. That's what
by A
she's.
plus soft wash. Go check it out. Now, Justin,
I had a good conspiracy. What do you guys think of Bigfoot? Because he very oddly looks like my dad without a shirt on.
I really don't think his feet are that big, to be honest.
No,
I've met him.
Have you heard the conspiracy theory that he travels through
Oh, he can
portals
teleport. Yeah,
or
he
like
can
dimensions or
teleport,
something?
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Dude.
so now that we covered that one, what about Leviathan, Loch Ness Monster, or anything deep sea type creature?
Oh,
I said a monster thing, Nate.
Dude,
Highly likely.
the
Dude.
Megalodon.
There's this guy
That's
who's on
not-
the Joe Rogan podcast who searches out undiscovered or he discovers stuff, and in the
They're
Amazon
still alive.
or something like
Dinosaurs.
that, there's a dinosaur. Like the people, you can go to the tribes there and they'll be like, "Hey, have you heard of this creature?" And they'll be like, "Yeah." They'll be like, "It's people very very rarely see it and stuff, but it's
Pixar
in
didn't
there."
happen.
No, all these tribes will be
How
like,
big
"Yeah,
is it?
this creature's in there," and it's like a long neck dinosaur.
Oh,
Wouldn't that be kind of
plesiosaurus.
obvious? They're pretty big, aren't they?
No, but it's
Are you
like
talking about a brontosaurus?
I don't
I'm thinking
know.
of massive. Like they're
Have you
giant.
seen one?
Yeah.
You seen one in your
Yeah.
backyard?
Jurassic Park. Have you ever watched that movie, Mariah? Oh wait, you're uncultured, so you probably just watched something dumb like High School Musical.
Justin, save us.
The Loch Ness Monster is a pretty good one.
That one is good. As far as the extinct animals, I believe it was the Dunkleosteus. I believe they thought it was a kind of giant fish. I believe it's the Dunkleosteus that they recently actually found some of them, I believe, close to some tundric kind of weather, cold weather
Are
areas.
you talking about the big dome-shaped shark-looking thing?
No, Dunkleosteus is different.
Oh.
Wait,
It's-
so how big is it? Bigger than a whale?
No, it's nothing like that big. It's just a large fish.
I mean,
It's
that really shouldn't be that
carnivorous.
surprising, though.
Oh,
We have
yeah.
whales. I mean,
But that's what I'm saying is people thought these were extinct for
Oh.
years, and they
Yeah,
finally
this is-
found
yeah.
some. If it's the Dunkleosteus, I believe it is. I could be wrong though.
yeah, but that's, I mean, I'm just thinking, like, if you really understood how big the ocean was and how little of it we've
Some of them are
seen,
big, some of them are not.
I mean,
very big.
you'd have to be, it'd be kind of silly to be confident that there's nothing out there that we just haven't
And
found.
that brings up another one too. What about mermaids?
No.
Oh, well, that's just not
No,
happening.
I
no.
hope. I hope.
Sadly,
they're real.
no. I used to believe in mermaids.
I want to
know,
date
it's a
Ariel.
theory though.
Yeah. Y'all remember that TV show H2O where the girls were
I
splashed by water?
love H2O.
Yeah, that made me definitely afraid to get touched by water because I thought it was a mermaid. for
I
a long
love
time.
H2O.
But do y'all
show.
think that mermaids now could be genetically engineered with people and fish
This
as much
isn't
as
it. This
science
is-
is advancing?
No.
No.
Mariah.
No.
I don't think so. That's like
Yes,
changing DNA.
absolutely.
No.
Y'all haven't heard where they brought like a goat or something back to life? Like scientists heard that story?
Oh,
No,
that's
they
not
cloned
true.
a goat.
Or whatever, same thing.
No.
Nope. Nope.
I think they cloned a lamb.
Yeah.
They cloned
Dolly.
something.
Something.
Now,
Michael Jackson.
we're covering the bases of a lot of the common
We're
conspiracy
trying to get
theories.
rid of every single audience member we have.
Where did we not touched?
making everyone mad. Again,
whoa,
we're-
whoa,
Like,
whoa,
let's be
sorry.
careful how we phrase stuff. Okay?
Sorry.
remember, all in good fun. We're just talking around literally a couple tables.
Unless you believe this stuff, then.
Anything else? Chloe?
I know there's like two different theories I've heard about like how the government like watches us and controls us. I know that one of them is about this one I think was started as like satire, like as a joke, but then people started to believe it to where people are saying that birds aren't real and that they're just going around and watching everyone.
Have you
Birds
seen-
are
And
not
then-
real.
And then the second one is like the airplanes that you see, all their exhaust is that's just chemicals that they're putting on us to make us see reality in a certain way.
That one's stupid.
And that's just crazy. That just blows my mind.
I'd say there could be truth to both of those.
There's
No.
a conspiracy right now that they put bots in MW3 lobbies.
What is
Bots?
Yeah, like real bots.
I
in
believe it.
public lobbies.
I believe it. And they're cracked, aren't they?
Yeah, they are
They're
cracked.
cracked at Fortnite. Yeah.
It's to even out the playing field, but you don't know it that they're in
Yeah,
there.
that's annoying. I would throw my controller.
Has anyone ever heard the airplane one where the airplane?
Yeah.
You've heard that?
I've heard.
Yeah.
I've heard they
People
put
Because
it.
apparently they don't like it doesn't, as a plane or whatever, it doesn't make sense that they're like letting out this white gas because it's not like fuel or anything like that. So like, what is it?
So, but if it's something to control our minds,
No, I wouldn't say it's
And-
mind altering.
A lot of people think it's putting chemicals like on our food.
okay.
And
That's what I've
that-
heard.
See,
like-
I was told it was to control the weather.
Oh.
Oh,
So
yeah,
like they
there's
can
that
they
theory,
could
too.
like for instance, they were messing like you remember our April 27th tornadoes. I heard
Yeah.
this as a conspiracy theory, but when this was like a once in a like generation storm that came through and like tore out Alabama all to pieces. They were saying that they were messing with some sort of like I don't know electromagnetic something. I don't know what it was, but apparently it could mess with the barometric pressure in the atmosphere. And they just wanted to see what it could do, and they ended up causing that tornado outbreak. That was a conspiracy
Wasn't
theory
James
I heard.
Spann. We love you, James Spann.
If anyone wants to know anything that's really happening that you don't know about, go watch the Sean Ryan show.
Bro, no, that show. There are some people on that show. Yeah, it's a good show. Don't get me wrong, but there are some people on that show like I really question their validity on what they say.
I don't.
Like the people on the show.
Yeah,
Like you can trust everything we say.
oh, like the whistleblower from Area 51. Have y'all
heard
seen
of
that?
it.
Like he's
No.
going on. He's like, this is what went down. This is what I saw. Like you're so full of it, dude. You're out here in public television telling us what went down in one of the most like lucrative compounds. Like the safety's off the chart. They probably don't let anything slip out of there, and you're here just willy nilly saying this. You're so full of it, dude. You would have got shot in the head before you could even like no.
And
You're
Blakey
so full
says
of it.
he will fist fight you.
I will. That dude, whoever you are, I know in my head I'm looking at you. Come on this podcast and I will challenge you, dude. I promise you, you are full of it. You are not in Area 51.
All right, Justin, what you got?
So one thing I want to correct myself from earlier because I just looked it up. They did not find a Dunkleosteus. They found a coelacanth, which is also a very prehistoric and
Isn't that
rather
a Pokemon?
large fish.
I caught that
No,
yesterday in
it's from a
Pokemon.
long time ago.
There's also a firefighter from the Antarctica on the show, and he talks about how they got this
What kind of fires are
super.
in Antarctica?
It's for like the.
Yeah, you could just go out eventually.
It's
I'm being serious.
like mechanical fires.
The snow?
Like the stuff they use if
Oh.
they catch on fire. Anyways, and
What a dumb job.
there's like this crazy like weapon or something where they can like create earthquakes in other parts of the earth, like from there.
That's like being a flood supervisor in the desert. That is so dumb.
I've heard the earthquake thing.
Guys, cold weather does not stop fires. I
Doesn't
just want
matter.
everyone
There's like
to.
nothing.
Which-
What about
I just
snow?
want everyone to know
What
this.
about
Cold
snow?
weather does not stop
imagine
fires.
living in Arizona and they're like, what's your job? It's like, I watch out for tsunamis. This way.
Mackenzie, what you got for us?
Okay, I've also heard that the Kardashians are part of like a big group of celebrities that every time like a big government issue or like crisis or war breaks out, like the Kardashians are there to distract everybody else from
working.
that, from caring
Gets
about
me every
that, and
time.
then said they like have a new baby or have a new scandal or something like that, and then all the news is like about that instead of something that we should
Oh,
really
Oh, that's
worry about.
definitely true.
Oh
That-
my goodness.
That's
instantly
pretty much how like I know I've definitely heard like more in-depth things about that, how if a war's going on or a presidential election, what do you see on the news? Oh, Taylor Swift new album. Why would we care about a Taylor Swift new album? Like
That explains when COVID-19 was going on. We got the
gosh.
Tiger King.
no.
exactly.
Also, there is a conspiracy that the writers of The Simpsons like know all the
Oh,
yeah.
secrets
That
and
one-
That's
stuff.
not a conspiracy. That's just
That
a
one,
fact.
that one's
That's
been
a fact.
debunked.
I
Known
actually
facts.
debunked.
I just
Yeah,
watched
it's
a
been
video
debunked.
on that the other day, and it's because they hire these people who are so like they'll hire political people.
They are prophets.
If they want to do something political, they'll hire like physicists if they want to predict something with physics or whatever.
Bro, that's
That's pretty likely
That's
then,
been
yeah.
debunked, though. They don't.
So we're going to turn now. We've covered lots of conspiracy theories. Again,
We didn't cover the biggest one. The Earth is flat.
Oh, I believe that one.
oh, that one's real.
That one's real.
Oh,
There's
yeah,
no
okay.
belief.
I'm glad we're in
conspiracy.
agreement.
Doesn't the Bible say
I
it's
just found out
flat?
the other day. Apparently, not only do they believe it's flat, but if you get to the outer edge of Antarctica, there's more land
There's fires.
outside of it, and that's where like the people who control the world.
You're
live.
telling me there's it loaded? We rendered into a new world?
Yeah,
Minecraft Infinity.
I bet it's just like Minecraft where it's just
Yeah.
like you just keep going, but
there's just a
eventually
barrier
come back.
wall. Apparently, if you go up to the edge of the world,
Like a
you would get
circle?
shot. And
Like
We should all try a group field
bet
trip.
when you get to the edge of Antarctica, if you keep going, you might come back to where you started.
I don't know.
And instead of it being round, it's a mirror. It just goes in itself.
You know what all this is reminding me of? Have y'all seen The Truman
Drugs?
Show?
The what?
The Truman Show?
I like the
What
Truman
Mackenzie
Show.
was talking about, how like the news distracts you. That's what they do in the Truman Show because he
Except
is
for just
this.
one guy.
He is the
He's the
main
center of
character in this
TV show
movie,
about his
but he
life.
doesn't know that he is in a movie. He thinks it's his life, and whenever he's starting to realize what's going on, all these people come and distract him, and that's really
Yeah, I've seen it with Jim
Scary
Carrey.
to think
Yep.
about.
Yeah.
So our life.
And
Oh my gosh.
Jim Carrey has come out and said, I don't know if y'all have seen that clip of him, like, I think it's on Jimmy Fallon or something, and he's like claiming that all the celebrities are all connected and they're all in this group and all this stuff, and he like shows the symbol and everything, and then they put like laugh tracks over it to like make you think like, oh, he's being silly, he's doing a bit, but he's not. He's like trying to expose.
I believe
my
that.
gosh.
I believe
Yeah.
all that.
They make him seem crazy now.
They did.
So-
Because they do
so
they
part
do
of-
that to
They
people.
did the same thing to Kanye.
Part of that stuff is
think
as well,
Kanye did
he
that
is
to
a little bit like that because Jim Carrey is a character actor and gets so invested in the characters he does. If you look at him while he's talking, he switches between that sometimes because
They've brainwashed you.
Or it's
It's
real
crazy.
and they make him seem crazy.
So he really is the guy from The Mask.
Or hear me
Yes.
out. He did a lot of drugs and he fried himself.
That's what they want you to
Nah,
believe.
that's what they want.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
Moving from these to the next part of our episode.
Uh-huh.
This has been a lot of fun, right, Blake?
It's been a blast.
And no sarcasm detected. As Christians, what is our role? Like, how can we, as we hear all these things and we're on social media, we talk with a bunch of people out and about, you hear a lot of stuff. How can we make sure that what we share, what we talk about, what are some things we can do to make sure that we talk about the truth and we share things that are accurate, that we don't spread lies, things that as Christians we worship a God of truth, so therefore we want to be people of the truth. What are some good practices that we can have as we, I guess we're in a very messy, crazy world. Any thoughts there?
A wise prophet that we all know once said, major on the majors and minor on the minors. Thank you, Mr. Williams.
You said that?
What does that mean, Zeke?
I don't know. You said it. You tell us.
Yeah. This is you.
All right, major on the major, minor on the minors. Even though it was in a bit of a different context, you keep the main thing the main thing. And there are a few things in our life that as Christians we believe that we all can agree on. The Bible's the Word of God. Jesus rose from the dead. As God has loved us, we are to love others and serve others, and we are to evangelize. There are things that we'll all agree on. And a lot of the minor stuff, and this is where what Zeke said comes into play, a lot of the minor stuff you can let go. You can, maybe it's true, maybe it's not. Maybe we believe it, maybe we don't. But we let it go, and it's okay to agree to disagree, Blake.
This is just kind of a question for everyone. And I know this can be a deep, like, this question could have a really, really long answer. Mariah? Knock it off. Anyways. But how do we respond, speaking of conspiracies, how do you respond to
Conspiracy.
people who say our religion is a conspiracy theory as well?
Oh, snap.
Like, what's a quick way? Like, if someone says, okay, you say these things can't be real, but how can you prove that what you believe is real? Like, I say that Christianity is a conspiracy theory that's just used to control us.
I think we would do it the same way we should be doing, Mariah, with every other conspiracy theory. And we look at the facts of what's going on. Like, what can we actually know for certain? And what are things that we're making assumptions of? So with Christianity, for example, you'd look at the biggest things, the empty tomb. Yep. That's what Paul said. Paul said, if Jesus wasn't resurrected and the tomb wasn't empty, then all that we're doing today, we should be pitied among most out of anybody because we believed a lie thinking it was the truth.
Yep.
So, I mean, you can believe it's a conspiracy theory, but if the facts don't back that up, then you're the one being foolish. And that goes for all the other ones we talked about. We could be right or wrong about some of these.
Yeah.
But if all the facts point to them being right, then we don't really have anything else to go off of.
I think it would be foolish if all the facts pointed to something. It'd be foolish not to believe it.
Yeah.
Unless something else came up. But yeah, whenever you don't have you can look into, I really can't find a good answer for the empty tomb. Like, even in the Bible, it tells us that they tried to claim that the body was stolen and that just didn't happen. Like, that doesn't happen with Roman guards where they just fall asleep. They get killed for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, there's so much evidence to point that that wasn't stolen. And if it was stolen, that means that all the apostles somehow convinced Paul, who was a very strong Jew, to leave Judaism to become persecuted and live the rest of his life in exile from all the people that he loved and cared about.
This should be our next podcast topic, the proof of the resurrection. That would be really, really good, because all that, we could just get into a myriad of theories on that. Jesus wasn't actually dead. Paul had guilt,
hallucinations, stuff like that. Yeah,
that would be great. We need to do that.
Yeah, the more you look into some of that stuff, the stronger my faith gets, because I can't find a good explanation for it.
I can't find one either.
I guess I'd leave it with this, in the sense that if the tomb wasn't empty, then all they had to do was say, hey, here's his body. All they had to do is drag it out into the streets and show people. It wouldn't have been that hard to do. But the fact that it was empty means that you have to come up with some kind of explanation of why was it. And I haven't found a good answer to that specifically.
Yeah.
And I think what we're talking about is put things to the test. You can talk about conspiracy theories, whether they're actually conspiracies or whether they're true or however you want to put it, but you put it to the test. You look at different angles, you examine all of the evidence, you go to different sources. I think that really matters. And another thing we want to be careful of is what we share on social media, because we have something called confirmation bias, that sometimes when there's a headline that confirms a position we believe, this happens a lot in politics. There's this headline that says something we believe. We go and we share it with everyone. Look, I'm right. This position I believe is correct. But we don't read the article. We don't look at the sources. We don't go check different sites to see if different people are saying the same thing. We just really need to be careful, particularly as we head into 2024 and there's going to be a big presidential election there. We need to be careful what we share on social media, even if it agrees with us. Because if it turns out later to be bad, well, that makes us look like we're not trustworthy. Well, I can't believe these Christians because they share a bunch of nonsense. So we just need to be careful, even if, for example, some of these conversations are a lot of fun. We just need to be careful with what we share.
But I think we need to keep it like that as well. We keep these conversations fun and lighthearted. For me as a Christian, when people start talking about conspiracy theories, I'll go along with them. And I'll joke around and stuff like that. But as far as it comes to believing in things like this, no. Like I said, if all the facts point to it and there's just no denying it, then yeah, I'll believe it. But I think as Christians, just keep things like this lighthearted. As Nate said, major in the majors, minor in the minors. Don't let it.
I think where some people get caught up is in modern America and the way our society functions, we want 100% proof for everything. And if we really think about it, there's if anything, that we can get 100% proof on. Anything you can be skeptical about literally anything. I could say there's a table in front of me, and I can be 100% certain, but you'd be like, how do you know you're not hallucinating right now? Well, I guess I don't. But at the end of the day, do we have a beyond a reasonable doubt for the things that we do believe? And that goes with conspiracy too. If there's a lot of evidence and it's beyond a reasonable doubt, then I'm down for believing it. There's been things that have happened in the past that were considered conspiracies that came true. So it's just a matter of what does the evidence, like you're saying, does the evidence point to, and is it reasonable to believe this? Now, there's certain things that, like Nate was saying, if they're minor things, I don't need to base the rest of my life and dwell on these things and make it to where I'm thinking about this more than I am the kingdom of God and not doing the stuff for him.
Yeah, I think once you start getting into that area where it starts taking away from your walk with God or anything like that, or if it just becomes the dominating factor in your life, then I think, you need to reevaluate.
What was it Jesus said? It was either Jesus or Paul. I think it's Paul, where he said, keep your mind on things, heavenly things. Not that you don't live on earth and do earthly things, but that you keep your mind focused on the important things in life and let the other things go by.
Ooh, that kind of reminds me of the wholesome thinking verse. We were supposed to promote wholesome thinking. that's another thing that you could take into consideration when it comes to conspiracy theories. Like, does it promote wholesome thinking? So, like, should we do it as Christians if it doesn't promote that?
I guess it would just be a case-by-case basis.
A case-by-case basis. Yeah. And you have to think, all right, if I'm participating in this, does anything good come from it? Or is it just distracting? Is it a waste of time? Because you can become obsessed with theories, conspiracy theories, and all that. And again, major in the majors, there are a few things we know that are true, and we hold to that. So y'all make fun of me for the way I end my episodes, our episodes here. Would anyone like to finish the episode that's not me so that we can make fun of someone else for once? All right, Blake.
Good night.
All right, let's do a little bit more than that. Anyone want to take us home?
Follow us on social media. Let us know if you have questions. Let us know your favorite conspiracy theory and why it's true.
What is your favorite conspiracy theory? Let us know. We are on all the major social media apps except for TikTok. And unless, Zeke, do you want to start doing the TikTok dances?
No.
It's run by the Chinese government, another conspiracy, so.
Yeah, and I'm out.
Okay. All right, we'll be back. Keep checking back for more episodes.